Joan by Ásgeir Ingólfsson. As you stand there, tied to the stake, feeling the flames dancing around you, you can only think about one thing. Not about France, and not about God, and not about the girl you loved or the boy you killed, no, none of that. You can only think about hoverboards, a hoverboard that will rise to the heavens. You dream of gliding over the highways of the future. You dream of gliding over the killing fields of the future. You dream of crucifixion, the guillotine, or the electric chair, anything but this stinking fire. You dream of taking a swim in the Seine. You dream of finding the winds in your face while you burn at the stake and your face peels off and your clothes peel off and your skin peels off and then you don't know anything anymore.
Uduasha City, where the sun is a mirror and the moon a shadow, where dancers cavort in forbidden operas, making love to forgetting and flame, where the wealthy play at war with silver swords and silken sashes, where the people mine the dead heart of a burning star for cannonballs and pipework, and where 1,000 secrets hide in a forest of paper and ink. Here, the 5 keybearers reside, the 5 who know the secrets of the broken gates of death. 5 only. There is no 6th spire, forlorn and forgotten in the desert. There is no one who looks to the displaced, the poor and destitute and landless, whose ancestry has been stripped from them by foreign looms and foreign sparkcraft, and no one has ever heard of the House of Endings. But this is their story. Their roots pulled up and burned, they stand in filth up to their necks, and that is precisely why they must keep their heads ever high. Welcome to Uduasha, immigrant. May it fear the name of the house you will build. Welcome to Desperate Attune, an actual play podcast about characters with their identities in peril, played by an international cast devoted to fiction-first gaming, collaborative world-building, and complex character drama. Welcome back, everyone, to Desperate Attune and to the House of Endings. And today we are in the middle of a score. We are in the middle of, in fact, an opera, weirdly. So last session, our crew went to the opera to watch a fake mystical play inspired by a real mystical play. This is all a con set up by Bidruhi's current girlfriend to steal a book from House Ankayat.
Girlfriend seems like a strong way to put it, but okay.
Yeah.
You should always put it very strongly.
Yes.
Okay? No half measures.
His current squeeze, I don't know.
Girlfriend.
Yes, girlfriend. To steal a book of which you know nothing, actually, which is in the possession of an exceedingly dull man named Salman Ankayat. He has withdrawn this from the library after much negotiating with his family in order for him to use the book to study the secrets contained in this play. So that was the scam that was set up. Fake play, lure out the guy with the valuable book, steal the book. The crew has somewhat complicated this by how Saida has a plan to turn the fake mystical play into a real mystical play by summoning a demon in the middle of it.
As you do.
Which last session he had figured out to do. But it has not yet been done. It is going to be done with a song in which I think pretty much most of the player characters are participating. And in all of the chaos of setting up a song to summon a demon and then leap out to Salman Ankayat and duel him to impress the girl Mumtaz, who's playing the lead role, in all of this chaos, Salman's driver, Vol, has taken the book and handed it over to one of the falconers, one of the law enforcement officers, Captain Peregrine, who is sitting at the very back row of the theater. And that's basically where we left off, with the other notable detail being that Sher-e-Khattam, with his mask, is sitting in a tree, ready to pounce,
Oh yes.
and do a bit of improvised tiger attacking in the play, which isn't in the script, but you guys worked it in.
It's very important.
Yes.
The South Asian theatre tradition, especially the folk tradition, has always been incredibly improvisational and with much audience participation. So really, we're decolonizing.
Uh-huh. Yes.
I'll be honest. I'm not sure what the point of, like, I know, like, Bidrohi explained what he wanted to get out of this, but neither I nor my character understand why we have to attack.
Yeah, it's because Bidrohi wanted to look cool. There is no other reason. So
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
And this way, you also get to look cool because you're going to
Yes.
be a tiger. You're going to make your what was the noise? Hurum.
Yeah,
Hurum
yeah,
noise.
that's the one. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. No, I mean, that's what sold Mushfiq, that he gets to actually do something in this play where otherwise he's just been a tiger sitting in a corner. But
yes.
yeah.
So yeah, the plan is an improvised tiger attack, then a demon summoning aria, then dueling Salman, and then somehow you aim to profit through all this. Another detail to add is that Moss is currently invisible on stage, having rendered herself invisible by the arts she learned in the desert. And so there's a lot going on. Bidrohi is the only person actually on stage doing normal things in his role, and I think that's where we left off.
Mumtaz is going to be so happy with us.
No, she will be very happy with me.
Yes, okay, sorry.
Yes.
Get your own girlfriend.
Should we do introductions of people, by the way? I completely forgot to do that as we were doing the...
Yes, very good idea.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so Bidrohi is played by Klow. Hello, Klow.
Hello.
Moss is played by Emma.
That's me.
Mushfiq or Sher-e-Khattam is played by Aadiyat.
Hello.
And Saida is played by Tree.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Ji Havi.
Yes.
Quick draw there. Yes. So this is where we are, and I think that we are kicking off unless someone has a way to interfere with Captain Peregrine flipping through the book bound in blue leather at the back. I think we're kicking this off.
I wish that I did.
I think that we are kicking this off with the tiger attack leading up to the song that will summon the demon.
No, I think we do have a means of interception here, which is that the two rowdy audience members who have been just sitting down, just watching the play with increasing amounts of consternation and boredom, and getting increasingly drunk, and who have had one instruction, which was keep an eye on the people on this table and this book. They are going to get up and charge at Vol and demand that he give them back their money or whatever.
Okay, it sounds like no one is leading them in doing this, but you can roll for them alone.
Yes, I mean, they don't need leadership. I mean, they're two adult human beings, masters of the sword. And
you are talking about your cohort members, of course, who are named Pilot and Murad, right?
Yes, Murad the Bold.
Yeah. So, a brief description of them again. Murad is big, slow, and bald, and Pilot is... What was Pilot's description?
Pilot doesn't have a description.
Pilot doesn't have a description.
Pilot's description was vaguely a joke about how she can pilot a bed.
Oh.
Right, yes.
Okay. Maybe we should give Pilot a description.
So, I think in order to make this a funny combo, it makes sense that Murad is big and bald, and Pilot is small and fierce and feisty. So, they're both good fighters, but Pilot is the sort of person who fights by punching people in the groin, because she's short enough to reach to conveniently punch.
Yes.
And Murad is a big guy. None of them are exceptionally good fighters, but this is how they fight.
Yes. Excellent. These are our people.
Yep.
Mhm.
And they are going to rush Vol and start demanding their money back from him.
Yes. They have. I mean, that was the idea that if anything happens, if like this Weasley-looking dude, starts like, just keep an eye on the book and improvise. So, what they choose to do, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So then it sounds like you're making a role for them. No one is leading them, so no PC gets to aid, and it's straightforwardly risky and standard in the sense that they can cause a distraction and a diversion to get Peregrine otherwise occupied. And the risk is that Peregrine is easily powerful enough to just have them thrown out of the theater, not because he's a cop or anything, just because he's a high-ranking member of society who can demand that ruffians be removed.
And look at this. Pilot and Bald Murad have rolled a 6.
Okay, so they roll up to Vol and start. I think what happens is that they turn up to Vol, and it turns out that he actually does owe money to someone who looks an awful lot like Murad.
You mean bald?
Yes, bald and big, and it's one of those. Someone's probably told him, there's going to be a bald big guy coming after you if you don't pay. And so he starts to actually panic and be like, "Oh, sirs, I'm with my good friend here, Captain Peregrine, my good friend. Could you please lend me some money, Captain Peregrine?" And Captain Peregrine is like, "In a moment,
Oh my god.
And there is a large kerfuffle, which will require some straightening out. So whatever Peregrine was hoping to do with the book, he doesn't have time. You have successfully stalled him as he tries to clear up this confusing misunderstanding that is evolving. And I think it evolves to get worse, where Vol goes like, "I'll give Mr. So-and-so his money back." And Murad goes like, "Mr. Yes, right, that guy."
I mean, I wouldn't put it past me. I wouldn't put it past them for like Pilot to then jump in and demand some extra money.
Yeah, exactly. There is a long and confusing back and forth at the back of the room, which annoys everyone else slightly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And it's up to you in what order you want to fire off the steps of your plan. But I think the idea was for Sher-e-Khattam to jump down on stage and do a cool tiger attack with Pidrohi first.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. So, Sher-e-Khattam, he's rigged up a prop tree so that he can be very well hidden.
Yep.
And I think, but because Saida had requested that whatever foolish plan that Bidrohi and I have cooked up should happen after her plan, which is she'll give the signal, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So Saida's summoning ritual is first. Good. That's worse in every way. But there you go.
No, it's not. It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go on then.
Is Saida's summoning ritual the same as the area?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So you're all going to, as Mumtaz sings, you're all going to join in, and Saida is basically going to turn the song back into the summoning ritual it originally was in the ancient and actually occult version of this play, which Mumtaz doesn't actually know about.
Why would
Yeah.
she?
I remember that Saida said that there's a phrase that at least Moss must repeat.
Yeah, I think I am like there invisible with the mask of the peacock god.
Yeah.
To just like whisper the missing words into the song or like sing them into the song
Pretty much,
when necessary.
Do you remember the words, Emma? Because I do.
I don't remember them myself.
I shall write them down then.
Okay.
Another thing of note is that Ifede, who is Moss's friend, is here and eager to spy on all of your delicious occult secrets. So far, you have succeeded in not revealing anything to her, but she is here, she is watching, she is interested.
Oh, she's in for a show.
Mm-hmm.
She is.
She sure is.
Okay.
These are the words.
I'm
Good.
happy to let the play proceed until the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it is Moss instigating the moment when Saida sends the signal. And what happens is Mumtaz begins to sing, and then she basically stops, and the part where the magic words go, so to speak, are just instrumental in their version because they haven't found the complete version of the play. So Mumtaz falls silent, and there is this like kind of jarring pause in the music where someone is like gently hitting a drum in the background, and all you hear is this incessant tapping. And Moss, you're up.
So I think the moment happens. Like it's obviously like we know that it has to happen in the play. It's the part where Mumtaz herself comes on stage as the peacock god, or as the peacock, I guess.
Yeah.
And she sings this song, and I think there is a repeating part. It's probably a refrain that has its meter adjusted slightly.
Yeah.
To like adjust for the fact that some words have been taken out, but there's still this kind of pause in there that they've tried to make elegant, and mostly succeeded, I'm sure. But Moss will sing into this pause the phrase, which is they then threw Prince Khattam into the wilderness after it was done. I'm not going to sing it. I don't have a singing voice.
Yeah, absolutely. It is sung. And I think as it is sung, I think that Moss and Saida, at minimum, are doing a group action to summon something.
Yes.
This is what this is for.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's desperate because you are attempting to summon the Demon of Wings, which is an extremely abstract thing. And you're also attempting to... I don't even think you know precisely what you're doing, but you're hoping that this will give Salman... make Salman's destiny clear to him, right? That was something like... Oh,
that's one of the things.
Yeah.
Yes. What kind of effect are we at currently?
So, just to summon the demon and have it like be in the play and then do its thing, you have standard effect because you figured out how to do that. You will... with standard effect, you will have no control over it whatsoever, mind. So,
yes, that is indeed. I think the reason I'm asking this question is, with great effect, could we direct the demon in some way?
Yes, with great effect, you can absolutely direct the demon in some way. I think with great effect, what you're going to get is not just that it manifests in the play. And as a demon of wings, I think it will manifest in the costumes of every single actor who wears a feathered mask. So it's going to manifest not spontaneously. It won't like appear as a mass of feathers on stage. It will sort of be in the costumes. So that's what you can do with standard effect. With great effect, you can direct it with song. So like whatever instructions are sung at it in the correct meter, it will follow.
So two ways that I can see us getting up to great effect, right? One of it would be it's probably has to be a flashback setup action. Can you set up actions? I never know this bit of the anyway. Like to try and get a glance at the book, because I'm sure there's some info in there. The other is we could also just push or trade position for effect, and I can see how that is just like trying to command the demon, making it more stressful and more desperate. But also
it already is desperate, mind. It's desperate standard by default.
Yeah. All right. But there is an extremely desperate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Deadly.
I'll allow it.
But I think I took warded in the previous session because I figured we were going to be rolling this, and I thought, well, we will need I will need the ability to resist. But we could use it to push instead, and I almost like that fictionally.
Okay.
Because what I was thinking for warded is that I think that like Saida has been spending some time now thinking she's gonna make a god, right? And the like she's not really settled on how one does this. It's all very theoretical and experimental at the same time. But one of the things that she's done, I think, is that she has made a song intended as like a funeral dirge for Prince Khattam, right? And
Yeah.
it is a magical ward in that she is summoning her prince who does not exist to save her in some fashion, right?
Yeah.
And
All right.
the reason that this line is really important is that it's part of that song. Right? So I think I'm going to mark my special armor here to push myself.
Okay,
for
perfect.
great effect.
Great. All
and
right.
what I'm doing is I want to be very clear that what I'm doing is I'm asking a god that I have yet to invent to intercede on my behalf. And the presumption that like when I invent it, it will be able to work backwards in time.
Yes. Very good.
It's like the inverse of the like Hup basilisk.
Yes, Roko's basilisk. I was thinking of that too. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Before you roll, I would very much like, after all this is done, assuming we survive, for Moss to ask Saida who the hell Prince Khattam is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an important question.
Because not only does our audience not know, I also think none of our characters have any idea what the hell this is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Excellent.
Hey, this is play to find out.
Yes, this is also not unusual in an ancient place, I will say, that they just go like, we will now make a reference to the character that everyone in our time knows, so we need to explain nothing. Like, this happens fairly often in ancient literature, so...
Yeah, it is a thing.
Okay, cool. So who is leading this group action? I can see it being Saida because she knows what's going on, or Moss because Moss is on stage, so I'll let you choose who is leading.
How much stress do you have, Moss?
4 left.
I have 5, I think. But equally, I'm 1 trauma down and you're not. So I don't want to deprive you of... No, I'm also 4 left. But if you want to risk trauma, that's fine. If you don't want to, I'm happy to lead.
I am always ready to risk trauma. I'll lead.
Yeah, the person who leads also takes more of the risk. So I guess Moss is leading.
Yeah.
Good. Desperate consequences on the line. Great effect. And what will happen here with great effect is you will manifest this demon and you will be able to direct it by singing.
Excellent. That's exactly what I want. Are we rolling... Sorry, the last thing. Are we rolling the singing, in which case it's sway, or are we rolling the magic, in which case it's
I think it must be Attune in this case. This is more about getting the invocation right. Then...
And also, it's Desperate Attune.
Yes.
I see what you did there. Yeah.
Then, with the great effect, you will be able to sway the demon. That's what I'm getting at. So it won't automatically do what you're saying, because, again, it has to be sung correctly, but you will have the possibility of directing it. So...
I propose a very stupid way for me to also participate in this.
Okay.
Which is that Prince Khattam bears the appearance of a handsome young man whose head is full of flowers.
Okay. You can participate too, but I will flag that you're also exposing yourself to the risk, because this thing is possessing your costume, so...
Yes.
Is there any way we can get Mushfiq to also participate? Because he also has 0 in Attune, and I think it would be incredible if, in a 4-person group action, we have, between all of us, 2 dice.
Yes. Okay, let me think. So, because like I'm hiding up in my, I think like the rigging that Mushfiq's made for himself is kind of like a hammock. He's just lying there until like.
Yeah, I have a dumb way for Mushfiq to assist if you don't have an idea yourself, and I think it's that Moss says these lines like they threw Prince Khattam into the wilderness when he was finished, and then the only thing Mushfiq does is he slams 2 cymbals together at the end of the line. It's like a dramatic beat. But it's important.
Symbols, but he has to be quiet. It's like a tiny, it's like a little triangle.
Yes. Triangle, perfect. Just like a little ding.
I think the way I see it then is like, so there's the invocation, there's the person who's saying the invocation, there's the priestess, which is Saida, there's the musician, and then there's the potential avatar. Yeah. And I'm the only one who's like, what's happening? Okay, sure. Song. Okay, once it's done, I will fight people. Cool.
Okay, excellent. Then I guess you're all rolling Desperate Attune.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So Attune, Desperate, great.
I will not push myself because I don't know what's going on.
Excellent. I am going to push myself.
Makes sense.
Very, very risky, also very spicy.
Yeah.
And I think what we see, or well, we don't see it, but I will tell you now, is that Moss can sing. She can sing in a kind of, she can sing for around the campfire. That's that's the kind of voice she has. But she does have some background in like singing in a more formal register of like kind of traditional Cathrisi song. Unfortunately, of course, she learned that when she was still a child from her mother, and the stress comes from the memory being conflicted.
Yes. Excellent.
How sad.
Yes.
It's okay.
Okay.
We'll have more sing-alongs.
Can I take 2 more stress to add a die, even though I have marked special armor for effect?
Yes, I think so. I'll call it
Okay.
kosher. So, since you did that for effect, so you can't do
Yes.
both for 2 dice, but you can do them for different purposes, I think. So,
Because I think of all of the people here, Saida is the one with the most reason to push herself in a very real way.
okay.
So yeah, 2 dice desperate attune. Wouldn't it be very funny if someone critted?
Okay, Seda rolls a 5. Pedro, he rolls a 2 and fails.
All right, so should I go next?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'll push myself because I don't have anything, and Mushroom has to push himself because like he's not very musical, and like it's really stressing him out to hit the triangle on the beat.
Yeah. I love how everyone else is like, this is deeply traumatic, this is an arcade ritual, this is very stressful. And Mushvik is just like, man, okay, 1, 2, 3, ting!
I'm very ready for you to be the one rolling the 6.
Yes.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It was a 4, but you know.
It was a 4.
Okay, so only Pedro he fails, so Moss only takes 1 stress, but no one rolls a 6.
No.
So the highest we have is a 5, which means that you succeed and you will invoke this demon, but there will be a desperate consequence. And, this is subtle. This is not a very overt demon. I mean, this play is meant to be an occult mystery. And so on the strike of Mushfik's triangle, there is just a sense of complete and perfect harmony passing over the stage for a moment, as in the distance. And to everyone watching, this probably just sounds like a flock of birds just lifted all at once off the roof. And you hear this dramatic fluttering of wings of like a huge flock taking off all at once, which times perfectly with the music. And then some stuff is going to happen. So, Mushvik, you are wearing a costume and you're on stage, but your costume does not feature feathers. So you will not be struck by this consequence, nor will Saida. But Mumtaz, Bidruhi, and Moss, you all feel the flutterer overcome you. And unless you resist it, you are fully immersed in the play. You forget who you are and you become your characters.
Oh.
So that's the consequence. I'm starting there.
Incredible. I will point out here that Bidrohi's character has just been established as Prince Khattam. So I'm just saying, you could really embody this made-up god in this moment.
Yes, you could. So Bidrohi will be transformed into Prince Khattam. Mumtaz will be transformed into the peacock goddess, and interestingly, so will Moss, because you're wearing the same mask, just an older and more powerful one.
So what would being Prince Khattam entail?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that you guys know. You have seen the script, but Prince Khattam isn't in the script.
Correct.
So, what happens at the climax of the play? I can tell you what the play is about, right? And it's the tragedy of this peacock character forgetting who they are and sinking into the depths of the city below and becoming forgotten. And Prince Khattam being thrown into the wilderness. So Prince Khattam at the end of the play is presumably no longer in the city. And the peacock is in the city, but with total amnesia. But that's at the end of the play, and that hasn't actually happened yet. So yeah, you will be engrossed in the play, and basically what will happen, I guess, how we will play this out if you don't resist it, is that your characters will forget who they are, and you will have some amount of agency, but as long as the play goes on, you will just do as the role demands on you, and I will tell you what that is. So, if you don't resist it.
I'm going to resist it.
Mm-hmm.
The way I'm going to resist it is that I have a massive and highly developed ego.
Yep. Fair.
Great.
Yeah.
There ain't no ego death happening here.
Yep. I think it's fair. Bidrohi can be Bidrohi. You are already the main character in your own story.
Yes. But I assume this is a partial thing where there's going to be some sort of like lingering influence of the god. I'd like that to be a thing.
Yeah, there is going to be a lingering influence, and you're going to see that when we get to the effect of the role very shortly, which we haven't yet.
Okay.
And which will be most obvious to Saida, I think. What about Moss? Are you resisting this, or are you letting yourself be swept up in the story?
One sec. So basically, the consequence here is that we just do as the role that we're playing demands, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like not participating in the score anymore, which I don't want to do.
Yeah. So
so
you're also resisting this?
Yes, I will also resist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically it's a temporary level 3 harm, right? So like you would have to push yourself to act. Yeah. You would have to push yourself to not act because you're acting by default. You get what I'm going at. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that I'm going to be resisting with insight. Having been out in Deathlands, I imagine that Moss has probably been possessed before, or encountered the possibility of it. So there will be an attempt to notice it happen and like kind of try to defend against it.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to defend against it with insight is to just take the mask off.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So that resistance is a 5, which means I exactly feel my bar of stress and trauma out.
Oh, lovely. So, I think what happens is probably that I think the logical thing is, right, you will struggle with the role for a while, so you will come out of this.
Mm-hmm.
But the trauma here will represent you having been swept into, briefly having been another person, right? Because this is magic, so this is not just being engrossed in the role at the moment. You briefly are someone else. And what that does to you is up to you. We can return to it. The other person affected is Mumtaz, who was singing this aria and then is... Again, it's not like a physically visible transformation in the sense that anything overtly supernatural happens. Her limbs don't change in the wings or anything like that, but it is a transformation coming over her, just in the way she moves and in her voice and in her eyes. And she is fully taken by the tragic peacock goddess, the heroine of the play. And the other thing that happens is the effect, which is that, Saida, unless you want to steer this some other direction, which you totally can, the demon is present in the play, and Salman is absolutely mesmerized by it.
Excellent.
And you have a couple of moments here to direct the demon because you got great effect.
Yeah,
but otherwise, it is just going to draw him into the story. And because he has a magical destiny, this is going to have a dramatically different effect on him than on the actors.
Okay. I do.
Maybe that's what you want to happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
But...
I want to add to this. I don't want to change it. I think it's totally fine. And I think if it works out, Salman will just be so happy with us that he'll give us the book, right? But I think what I want to do here is that I have a demon in my soul that weighs me down, right? And what I want to do, if I can, is this demon of forgetting, of abstract flight, whatever it is, I might be able to convince the demon in my soul that it is also an actor in this play, and therefore it may leave me.
Okay. So you want to give the demon that is inside you amnesia?
What I really want, which I don't think I can achieve, is I want the demon that's in my soul to fall in love with the Flutterer. But I don't think I can make that happen.
Okay, so I will tell you that you have a sway risky limited here. And the reason it's risky is this demon is already possessing you. You're not trying to manipulate the flutter, you're trying to manipulate Samum, which is less risky because Samum is just less powerful. But it's limited in the sense that Samum is already in love with you. So you can distract it, but you can't fully change the object of its desire.
Okay.
Unless you do something about it.
Yes, I'm gonna trade position for effect. And I think the way that I'm gonna make this desperate is that I see Salman like being drawn in, right? And I can see a couple of things have happened. I can probably see that Moss has lost herself to the role. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm in like an alcove. I'm just adding my voice to the quiet, right? Like nobody can really see me. And instead of just filling in for Mumtaz, I'm gonna take the part and I'm just gonna run with it. And so I'm gonna allow the Flutterer a greater foothold. Because what's like once one demon has a hold on your soul, another demon's not really a problem because they're just gonna fight each other. They're gonna fight you.
Okay. So sure, desperate standard it is. You have a unique opportunity to get rid of this thing that is haunting you.
And sway?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's sway. I think you're trying to persuade it with your song.
Of course, having multiple demons fight over your soul is a famously safe thing.
It actually makes you like really cool and sexy, which nobody like tells you. That's why nobody does it. But that's actually why it's amazing. I know a desert song because Sharia does, and I'm gonna sing Samum's name in that song. So that'll give me an extra die.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Is this a sway?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Desperate. Standard.
Desperate standard, one extra die.
That's a 2, a 1, and a 2.
Oh, and it fails.
This is why I play this game.
It failed. Yes. Okay, so what happens is that you raise your voice in the aria of the peacock goddess, but to the demons who see the world through the ghost field and who hear through the ghost field, there is no fooling them. Mumtaz is the peacock goddess. She has become the role. And you are just a person performing a hauntingly beautiful desert song. And the consequence here is that Samum, because it is a demon and it is in love with you, begins to hurt you.
This is what I deserve. Okay.
It seeps into you, it weighs you down, it smothers you with the weight of its love, and it steals the breath out of your lungs as it craves the song. And so mark a level 3 harm, choking to death. You can't breathe unless you resist it. And to be clear, this is a level 3 harm that unless you are saved from it with like someone artificially restoring your breathing, you will die. So
so I'm gonna mark armor here to bring it down to a level 2. And the armor that I'm marking is I have fashioned some kind of protective amulet. Again, in the name of Sher-e-Khattam, who is yet to exist. Yeah. And I think that as I feel myself choking to death, I focus my mind on Prince Khattam, and I know I have promised him my ending, and nobody else can claim it before me. Before he does.
Okay, yes. So then you will just have a level 2 harm, which is shortness of breath. Like you're still going to have trouble breathing because every time you inhale and exhale, Samum steals some of your breath and treasures it. And you see before your mind's eye, like for every breath you take, this cloaked nomad demon snatches it out of the air and weaves it into a beautiful knot on a necklace he wears about his neck. He is collecting your breaths now.
Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? I look forward to finding out more.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. But like, to be clear, this didn't ruin the like whatever Salman's gonna happen, that's still gonna happen.
Indeed, that is still going to happen. And I think the dramatically appropriate way to handle this is that things are going to happen to Salman, but I think they will happen as Bidruhi fires off his plan, because that's just the most awkward time for this to go wrong, right? So
Excellent.
I think Mushfiq is going to do his tiger attack, and then Bidruhi is going to fight the tiger and then fight Salman. That was his plan. And
Yep.
that is all still possible. So
All right. So what side is current state? So the armor has done what? She's just
Yep.
incapacitated, or like. So what's
Yes.
Mushfiq saying here? Like, because the first thing I think Mushfiq would see is that like Moss has just gone down, which is,
Yeah, Moss has
great.
lost herself in the role
Yeah.
and is out of it. The only thing you noticed as magic was this feeling of a great flock of birds lifting from the roof,
Mm.
and that the play just suddenly got dramatically better. I think that's obvious to you too. Like, everyone suddenly became a way better actor, and everything, all the costumes suddenly look like way more beautiful because people are just wearing them right, and the music just got like hypnotically, entrancingly good. So
You know what else
abruptly,
happened?
yeah,
You know what else happened? Mushfiq suddenly understands that in this play there is a tiger attack.
Yes.
That's
There is
true.
a tiger demon. This
Yeah.
happens. This is the
Yeah.
thing.
No, I was gonna say the same. Yeah, I was gonna say pretty much the same. That like if he gets this feeling that the play is suddenly better, like okay, this is it. This is time to take center stage.
Yeah.
Everything else can wait. All right. He's in his like he's up in the tree, like and then you just see him kind of like pumping himself. He goes, okay, all right, you got this, and then he practices his line. He goes, yeah, okay, and then he jumps out and. Okay, so let's roll whatever I'm rolling first, if I am rolling anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that you are rolling something. It can be your action, and the risk here is mostly the power of the play lingering over you.
Okay.
And we will get to what that means. It is risky. I don't think it's desperate. And it's up to you what action it is. It's risky standard.
Yeah,
like,
because this isn't a real fight. I am
No.
performing. And
so sway or command would work.
Sway.
I think.
Finesse
Yeah.
might be interesting. I don't know if you have any dots in finesse, by the way.
Mhm.
I do
Yeah.
have finesse. Okay.
Yeah, finesse would work.
All right, let's do finesse then, because I do have points in finesse.
Take an assist from me because we're a team.
Okay, yeah, sure. Risky standard, you said?
Yep.
All right.
The only
Should we
reason
make
this
it
is
a?
This
should
is
we make it a
risky
group action?
because of the power of the play. So
Should we make it a group action because we are both?
Yeah,
we
we're
jump
both-
down, then we do the duel. Let's see how good that looks.
Okay, I can lead it because I guess I'm initiating the
Yeah.
fight by jumping out of the tree.
okay, sure.
Mhm.
I can accept
So-
it being a group action. Risky standard it is,
All right.
and let's see how well Bidruhi pulls off the duel and how good Mushfiq looks as a tiger.
All right.
Okay, so that's a failure for Mushfiq, who rolls a 3 and a 3.
Can
And
I have a
let's see.
devil's bargain?
I have so many consequences lined up already, but I guess I can throw a devil's bargain at you.
See, you have so many consequences. Just give me one as a devil's bargain.
Yes. Well, the thing is, all of these bad things are already happening to you. But I think the devil's bargain I will give you, actually, is that you don't understand what is going on. So this is not a decision that Bidruhi can make, but you, the player, can. And the devil's bargain will be that Mumtaz will be permanently altered by the play.
Okay.
In a sexy
I
way?
think. I don't know yet. For everyone else, this is temporary. But if you take this devil's bargain, it will actually be permanent for her because she gets pulled down too deep.
No.
So it's a nasty devil's bargain.
Protect women.
Yep, you're not
I'm a
taking it.
feminist.
Cool.
I don't let
I
women
wanted to give you a
ever be
nasty
in
one, and I'm
danger.
glad you
That's
said
how
no.
feminism works, guys.
Yes.
Feminism is when you don't let women suffer ego death.
Great.
Good. So you're not taking the devil's bargain. Very well.
Yes. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's just go as it is.
Oh.
6. That's what happens
Oh,
when
nice.
you're a feminist.
Okay. Well,
Remind me how group action works. So, do I take stress if I have failed, or for
yes,
if other
you
people?
do. For everyone who fails.
And how many stress is that?
One per
Oh.
person who fails. So
All
just
right,
one
okay,
because
thank
only
God.
you
All
failed.
right, I'm still here. Like I think what happens is, if you want to play it this way, is since Bushwick failed, he jumps down. Like he practices lines and everything,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, he jumps down. He looks at the audience, gets stage fright, and he's just standing there. And now, but you succeeded, so you could just, in the play, just
Yeah.
just kill the tiger.
Kill the tiger and engage. And the thing is, the risk here was, Vidrohi, because you are so immersed in the play, for a second there when Mushfik jumped out of the tree, you actually thought you were being attacked by a tiger. You rolling a 6 here is the only reason you can stay yourself from delivering lethal violence.
Sher-e-Khattam, this is amazing physical acting of you.
Yes.
And then I throw him off the stage.
Yeah. Yep. You hurl the tiger off the stage, and I think at this point Salman stands up because you had told him before this. You'd set him up for when I defeat the tiger, we will fight.
Yeah.
And so as you hurl Sher-e-Khattam off the stage, and everyone kind of sees a real tiger for a second because they're just so pulled into this. Salman stands up and he says, "Yes, no, the peacock prophecy, the truth, it burns." And he hurls himself up on stage with the aim at getting at Mumtaz, getting at the peacock, getting at the woman you're trying to impress. Whatever he's trying to do to her is a bit unclear, but he is suddenly has a vigor and energy about him which you had never expected, and his eyes are wild, and he just rushes onto the stage.
Bro, I knew you were down bad, but not this much.
I'm dying. I'm finished.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. I'm going to intercept. Let's see. What's his aesthetic? Is he just a sort of South Asian aristocracy sort of thing, or is he more just Fullian? Okay.
No, he's definitely a traditionalist, very, very much. He's trying to blend in with House Ankayat, so.
So I think I'm going to grab his shawl, and I'm going to kind of yank him by his shawl and kind of try to do the thing where if you yank someone really hard, they kind of spin around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. And discombobulate him.
Yes. Okay, so this is desperate, and the reason that this is desperate is that Saida succeeded with exactly what she wanted, which means that he has access to Ankayat magic now. He never did before, but now he does.
Okay, so that's what makes it a fair fight.
Yep. Indeed.
So desperate standard? Okay. Desperate standard. I have even the odds now, and I'm fighting unarmed. He has my sword, by the way.
Yep, he does.
Well, he
so you have
doesn't
plus 1 die when fighting unarmed, and tier is not relevant, which I get. So you will have. That's what the other ability does, right? Or am I wrong?
No, I didn't take that.
Okay, what is the other thing you have?
Oh, the other thing
you only have even the odds. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have ward the opponent.
Okay. So even the odds. Plus 1 die when fighting unarmed with an improvised weapon, which you are.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that would be 3 dice, I think.
And you're only trying to stop him, so for that reason you have standard effect.
Yeah, and then we can see. I think this will set myself up for more later because he'll also get confused. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 bonus dice.
Mm-hmm.
Should I push myself? No. Let's save the stress. 4.
Okay. All right. So you stop him. That is what you accomplish. You intercept, and he grabs you instead. Just kind of because he's stumbling onto the stage. He doesn't even stab you with the weapon. He grabs you with his free hand, and he looks into your eyes, and he talks at you, and he just says, like, "I have seen the reign of roots. I know the king of poets. You will not stand in my way, peasant." And then he curses you.
Okay.
So yeah, take a level 3 harm, the Reign of Roots.
Is this something I can resist by marking armor?
it's a harm. So if you have a way, like I will accept something like Saida's amulet, right?
Mm.
But it will require a good explanation for why it works. Because with Saida, she is an actual occultist. You're not. So.
But like, what would the rain of roots actually manifest itself as being? Like, what is the physical impact of this?
The physical impact is that actually, you know what I think is not the. I just remembered your role. So scratch that. It's not the rain of roots that is the curse. It's banished to the wilderness because you are being Prince Khattam.
Mm.
And so while you bear this curse, you do not belong in the city. The Deathlands will call to you.
But like, there's no like ladies out there.
Nope. Nope. So he is managing the city with magic, I think, which basically means that the city itself will turn hostile to you.
Okay. I think the way I'm going to do this is unorthodox, but I'm going to mark armor first. And the way the armor is going to slightly help is that I am physically heavier. And thus, like all this stuff that like involves like feathers and wings and being thrown around, I have like more critical mass.
Okay.
So it makes it a bit harder.
Sure.
And then I want to manifest it as like it turns away from being like an actual curse that like compels me towards something that is physical harm.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. So I think what will happen is, this is. So I guess he notices that he can't throw you around, and he says, "The city rejects you. I take back its blessings from you, and you will vomit up everything you have eaten and drank today because it belongs to the city."
Okay.
So that's your level 2 harm.
Can I like throw up on him?
Yeah, you can.
Excellent.
That's fine.
Yes.
But you will have a level 2 harm, like the city rejects you. So you will basically be allergic to it for the effect of a -1 die until this is cured.
Okay, we'll have to figure that out then.
But
okay, I have
you can resist it. You can resist it down to -1, or down to level 1 harm if you wish. Just pointing that out.
That's a good point. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to resist it with resolve. See what happens. 3. 2 stress away from a trauma.
Okay, in this case, I think you fully resist it because I don't have a level 1 harm in mind here. I realized, I thought about it. I don't think I have. I don't think you can be a little bit banished from the city less than this. So it's not really gradual at this point. So I think you have fully resisted this consequence, although at the cost of armor and stress and so on. And he's still holding you. He's still like shaking his hand at you. And I guess he says, as he sees that this is not working, he says, "The city will not leave you, Prince Khattam. Very well. Very well. You come with me then."
Okay.
And that's all he's going to say. And then he's going to do something to you unless you stop him. But you have a moment to act because he's surprised.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is... So I'm on the stage, and this bro's like giving me some really weird vibes and energy right now.
Yeah.
And like, not a big fan of this. So I think when someone's on stage and they kind of like just get really rowdy and then they try to like, I don't know, rush one of the actresses and so on. This sort of thing happens all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we're in Ashglister.
Yeah.
And there's a cop right there. There's like Captain Peregrine right there, right?
Yeah. And
so
this
all
man
I
is
have
clearly intoxicated on something at this point. So
So
he is also unfortunately a nobleman, which is why the crowd in general do not just pull him back, right? But
so what I'm going to do is, because I'm still holding his shawl, right? I'm going to tie him to the thing that kind of like raises and lowers the curtain, and I'm going to raise him up to the rafters where he's going to be safe.
Okay. This sounds like a multi-step plan. So I will start off giving you limited effect. You can tie him to a thing and restrain him.
Okay.
But you have overcome his immediate curse, which is the most dangerous thing about him, his newfound ability to curse people. So I think that you're at risky limited. And I think that this moment actually is the perfect moment, Emma, for Moss to return to the action. So, Moss,
Yes.
you have been pulled into the visions of this play,
Mhm.
and as you come to, you will hear Salman say something, and you can tell me how you interpret it, but somehow you will have seen visions of it. And he spits at the stage in general. The fire in the well is an imposter, and that's a thing he's just remembered apparently.
Okay. The fire in the well is an imposter. Okay. What is going on currently? Because I just cut out for a sec.
Yeah. So Salman has rushed onto stage and is kind of like fighting with Bidrohi. He grabbed him. He tried to curse him and banish him from the city. It didn't work. Bidrohi resisted it by basically not being pulled into the role of Prince Khattam at all. So he was going to use Bidrohi's role as Prince Khattam to banish him to the wilderness as in the play. And it would have worked because Salman has real magic now. He is awoken to his destiny, finally.
Wonderful.
Why did we do this again?
Yeah.
Because now he's gonna be our friend and give us the book because he doesn't need it anymore.
Is he?
He is also clearly going mad with the
Well, I mean,
revelation
that's
at the
a-
moment, but
Okay, that's fine. He needs to chill out. He needs someone to tie him down, I don't know, throw a bucket over him, maybe I don't know, let him sleep it off. Then he can be a friend. Okay.
Yeah. Well, in fact, if that fight's still going on, my plan was to intervene in that once I came out of my trauma.
Please help me.
I
Yes?
can intervene because I'm close to the stage, right? I can climb
Yes.
back up. All right. Emma, you can. What were you gonna do? You can.
So, okay. Well, of course, to counter a person who's going mad with the revelation, you just need another person who's going mad with the revelation, and they'll use their insane strength against each other. Because in fact, it's you describe it as a vision. It sounds a bit mild, but I think Moss has just lived 40 years as the Canary, built up friendships, relationships, and then suddenly one day just realizes that everything is fake, and that she is on a stage. So she has been kind of milling about in the background for a few seconds, just kind of completely stunned, reeling, and now she draws a hidden dagger from her pocket, and she's gonna go at the first guy she sees. This noble person who's talking about lies, and she's going to hold it to his throat and demand, "Where the fuck am I?"
Excellent. I love this.
Okay, Sister Moss has also been sneaking a few hits of the bong. Okay, I understand. Let me tie them both up, and then they can chill out.
Okay.
I think Moss is acting first.
Here's what I was. Here's what I would have done. Yeah, I would have, and then they threw Sher-e-Khattam off the stage. So he's got to climb back up, rubbing his head, and he sees that Salman is shaking Bidrohi, and he does not like someone assailing his younger brother, adopted younger brother, kind of like this, right? So he walks up behind Salman, taps him on the shoulder, and says, "Oh, the stage is for actors only," and I'm gonna try to take his arm and then kind of hold him in a I don't know what you call the hold, right? You twist his arm behind him, and then assuming this succeeds, I can try to maybe use some of the stage rigging to along with this way to tie him up.
I have a suggestion. Okay, it seems that we have each narrated that we are doing something that's mutually exclusive to this man.
Yeah.
They can't all be happening. However,
I feel like what we're doing actually is a group action.
You're all trying to restrain him.
Exactly. So. But here's how I think it looks. This man is a fountain of sorcery at the moment, and he's gone mad. Yes. Somehow, all three of us are doing our thing in separate timelines that converge together.
Okay.
As the GM of the last campaign, I am so glad I am not participating in this group action because I don't condone this shit.
Yes. So you're all taking group actions to try to restrain this man who's gone mad with the revelation. Fair enough. I think that so one of you is putting a knife to his throat, one of you is bending his arm, one of you is tying his shawl to a rope. These things, it's hard to see how they can all happen at once, but they can all happen. So let's call it a group action. Your goal is to restrain him, and I guess whoever rolls the highest will say how precisely he ends up restrained.
But that's it. That is the question. How can it all be happening at the same time?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just visualizing it as three people having plans and just like it ends up looking like a pylon, basically.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
my thing's happening in the real world. Bidrohi's thing is happening in the world where he's Prince Khattam, and Moss's thing is happening in the world where she's the peacock
It's
queen. What was it? Yeah.
Canary.
So that's how it's all
Canary.
happening. Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of dogpiling going on. So
Yes.
let's make this a group action. But I think you've talked me into making this desperate. And the reason it's desperate is less that he poses a threat here, and more that you are at risk of injuring each other quite severely in the process.
It's like, hey, I recognize this person
Yes.
who I'm like
Yeah.
holding a knife to his throat. Oh, it's Bidrohi.
Yes. So, okay, it's a very desperate, messy group action. You're working together, but in the least coordinated way possible. I think we'll call it that. And I think it's just flat out skirmish at this point. I don't think there's any
makes sense.
elegance going on here.
Who wants
Makes
to lead
sense.
this?
Not me.
Uh-huh.
I have
I have
two stress. No, I have one
I have
stress
a
to
clear
spare.
stress bar.
Yes, I think it makes sense actually if Moss is leading it, because Moss
Yeah.
is the one whose plan is the most restraining the guy with a knife to his throat and everything.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is it desperate standard?
Yes, it's a desperate standard. You can somehow accomplish this goal of tying him down.
Desperate standard skirmish. I'm pushing for effect, or for not for effect, for a die.
Mhm. Good. Let's see how this goes. I'm
That's a
also a bit.
4.
Yeah, okay, so we have a 4. I'm also a bit unclear on precisely why you guys wanted to awaken Salman's latent sorcery, but
Listen, I just wanted to make up
Uh-huh.
with a lady, and side
Yeah.
over there was like, let us
Yeah.
awaken this man's latent sorcery. And I'm like, I don't know anything about this. Okay.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
think the reason was because we thought that Zaida's like Sabum problem would go away by awakening another demon.
It did not.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that Auntie may not be actually as smart as she seems like.
Mhm. Okay. So, yeah, go ahead. So that's one roll from.
So that's 3 rolls.
Oh, everyone
Yeah,
rolled,
rolls
and you
from-
got a
Yeah,
5 at the most.
Yeah.
Yes.
And no one failed,
Okay.
so that's good.
Fun, isn't
No
it?
one failed. No more stress. So you do restrain this guy, and he ends up with a knife to his throat, his arm bent behind his back, and his shawl tied to a rope. All of these 3 things happen, so he's very restrained. And I think in the process, you do, like, it's just a big confusing brawl, and he has a sword. He has Bidrohi's sword. So I think everyone here takes a level 2 harm from someone else. And rather than have us spend time on deciding how this will go, I'll just arbitrarily dole them out, I think. So, Moss, you get your knife around his throat, but you also cut Bidrohi's arm in the process. And
Ouch.
Bidrohi, you hit Sher-e-Khattam in the face with your elbow as it's going on. And lastly, I think he stabs Mushfik with the sword. Not even really because he's trying to, because just there's a sharp, pointy object being waved around. So, level 2 harms for everyone.
Wait, what happens to me?
Nothing.
Oh,
Yes, I forgot. I forgot that you are taking a harm as well from some source. What does happen? Okay, yes. I think what happens to you is that you have just been knocked out of this delirium, and I think what makes sense here is probably. I think probably he will burn you. I think, like he still has sorcery, so he stabs Mushfik. You stab Bidrohi. Bidrohi knocks Mushfik in the face, and then he utters some sort of syllable, and a smoldering fire starts to rise from your clothes. Yes, Bidrohi's harm is I
Okay.
got beat up by my own family. Sad. And-
I'm gonna resist, stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
Because if I'm just on fire, like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
just stand there being on fire.
And the way that he sets you on fire is, I think he says, "Do you not see the fire is an illusion?" And then you start to burn. Because
Yeah.
and he is apparently trying to convince you that you are not on fire, but you feel very much like you are. So
yeah. Oh wait, then it's consequence from basically deception in that case. So it's gonna be me trying to resist it with insight. That's 6.
Okay, so from what we can see, you suddenly just start rolling around on the ground for no reason at all.
Shouting, "It looks pretty real to me!"
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Sister Moss, this is not a good time for your new dance. They are pretty sick though.
Can I pour up to 10 bucket of water on her? Like
You can absolutely mime water. So I guess what happens is that he ends up being tied to the rope, held by Bidrohi, while Mushfik pours water on Moss.
just making the action of pouring a bucket of water. I don't have anything in my hands, by the way.
Yeah, you're just miming water. It will work. So I guess this is fully resisted then.
All right.
But Mushfik still has a bruise. Bidrohi still has a stab injury from.
It's okay. I can. All right, so I can mark armor to bring that down to level 1 because the Tiger Spirit Mask does count as armor, so that resists the elbow in the face.
Makes perfect sense.
I can only mark armor once, right?
Yes, but you can make a resistance roll
Yeah,
also.
I'll resist as well, and I will resist with prowess.
Yep, prowess from just being tough.
Yep.
All right, makes sense. And it's a 5.
Yeah,
okay.
But I do take that stress, and now I'm... All right, goodbye, everyone.
Are you traumaing out too?
Yep.
Okay. Tell you what, I will get back to your trauma after Bidrohi. You have a chance to have a word with Salman now, if you please. And what happens is that you have tied him up in this rope. Are you raising him up as you were planning to, like lifting him into the air?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So he flies up over the stage. He is restrained. He will have no chance of getting at your girl or further harming anyone present. But he still knows sorcery, and you haven't really done anything about that. So he stares at you, he's hoisted up, and he says, "Ah, I understand. The imposter is I. I am become the star. I am become the star in the well." And he self-immolates. He catches fire out of nowhere, and he starts to burn where he hangs over the stage, burn brightly as the star which fell over Uduasha.
I think at first when he just started saying like, "I understand that I'm the imposter," like, bro, I told you that you are trying to be this cool guy, but you aren't, and I'm glad that you have a journey of what the fuck are you doing, bro? I think I'm going to just... So I hoisted him up. I'm just going to like let go of the rope, and he's going to drop down to the ground. And then I'm going to...
The problem is that you turned him into a falling star, and I think I want to bring in Saida back here.
Yes.
So, Saida, you understand what is going on here, and I think you understand it with unusual clarity, as does Ifede, who is watching all of this unfold. Salman has awoken to his destiny, and he understands the lies that are fire. He has stumbled upon some incredibly deep occult secret dredged up from his destiny or his memory. And I will tell you a secret thing here, Saida. Salman will not die from the fire. It is false. But it is said that the Ankayat hold the secret of teleportation, and he will self-immolate and he will reappear elsewhere, enlightened and unburdened by his physical possessions.
I think I see this happening, and really what I want to do is not necessarily stop this from happening, but rather to help him be okay, like help him to not freak the fuck up, right? So as I see him say, "Oh, you know, the fire is false. I am a falling star. I am going insane. Whatever." I would like to sing him back to sanity. Is this something I can do?
Yes. Absolutely. I guess it is.
Great. And
So,
the way that I'm doing this, in fact, is I'm kind of seeing in him
uh-huh.
something of myself, which is he's realizing something
Mm-hmm.
so profound about reality that it completely changes your worldview. You can either do what many people that Saida has known have done, which is change accordingly, or you can reject it completely and say that now that I've understood this, I'm going to do something completely batshit insane in order to make sense of it. Which is why she settled on I'm going to make a god as a solution, right?
Yeah.
I think that she.
Okay, so you want to focus his mind and purpose and sort of basically do the occult equivalent of stopping him from having a panic attack by grounding him in the moment.
Yes. This feels to me more like a sway than an attune, but it could still be an attune.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I think it's a sway. I think that you are trying to reach out to him throughout this chaos of no one else who understands what's going on, and for him to find something that is true and latch on to it.
Great. Is there any assistance by any chance?
I'm assisting by giving him homely insights. Bro, don't set yourself on fire, bro. What is this? What is all this?
Yeah.
I love the idea that like on one side of the idol of Prince Khattam is Saida, his faithful steward, the woman who is going to bring him into existence in a way. And on the other side is Vidro, flashing a peace sign.
So I don't think that you are necessarily in a desperate position, because at this moment you're just trying to avoid him harming himself. So I think it's risky and okay, if all you want to accomplish here is to keep him from like freaking out and doing random spells, I think you have standard effect.
Okay, I think that's fine. That's all I want for now.
Yeah, so risky standard it is.
Risky standard and one bonus die from assist, right? Take the 5.
Okay.
5, a 1, and a 5.
Yeah, so you roll a 5, a 1, and a 5, and you will get what you want, which is you steady him. And the risky consequence here is simply that you have his attention, which is a very bad thing at the moment. So you can resist this and keep him from knowing you. Otherwise, he will look at you with a sorcerer's sight, and we will find out what the consequences of that are later.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I will say that actually I should have remembered that I am short of breath, and that should really prevent me from singing. But
yeah, the -1 die should have approved.
Even if I lose the other 5.
Yeah, so you should have had one less die. We'll cut off your last die there. But you rolled 2 5s, so you're good. So you cannot sing especially loudly, and in fact I don't think anyone else hears you. But what is going to happen here, and I think Salman is going to powerfully ignore Bidruhi. I think he has the ability to do that here. And now something just overtly fucking supernatural happens before you, right? And he falls to the stage, and he just stands up, still on fire, apparently unbothered by it, and all of his like super expensive gold embroidered clothes will just burn off him as he stands in a pyre of his own making, as some sort of like human torch burning divinity figure. Like everything that's on him is just immolated. And he turns and he looks towards Saida and he speaks in a sorcerer's tongue that you understand because you are trained in these things. And he says, "Ah, a teacher, come to me through fire and war. Good. Good. We will speak of this matter. We will speak of the things I have seen beneath the well. The fire is nothing. It means less than nothing." And then he will just unbotheredly begin to walk down into the audience towards you.
You know what? That's fine. That's totally fine. It's fine, guys. Okay. I think as this happens, we see her kind of gasping for breath, and she is going to make a signal and hope that Moss is looking. discussed some signals and stuff.
Yes, Moss, you have had your worldview shattered and been set on fire in very short moments. Do you think you have the presence of mind to pay attention to Saida?
Gosh, is this just an action roll?
It might be, yes.
I think it's cooler if she gets up and the thing that anchors her is like the first recognizable thing is a familiar face in the audience making a sign that she knows means like an assignment.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, cool.
And I think the sign that I'm making is just book, right?
Like get the book, or
yeah, pretty much. Like, where is it? Get it. We're not gonna have a better time. And it's not like this is not. We have not come up with a signed language, right? Like I'm just like doing the thing that means book. I'm really hoping that you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to be,
And I think Peregrine has absolutely dropped the book at this moment, as has everyone, because up until now, everyone just thought this was like a hypnotically entrancing play, right? Like Sher-e-Khattam looked like a real tiger, and everyone was like, "Wow, a tiger! Oh no! Oh wait, it's an actor." It's like, the first impression. But this is clearly not just part of the play. Something has gone horribly wrong or horribly right, and Peregrine is aware of that.
Yep.
All right. I think I understand. I'm gonna exit left, and I think Moss takes off some of her canary costume. The feathers that do her are still charred, and she switches out into she pulls over a normal coat or something, and descends down the side stairs into the audience and blends in and goes to look for where that book is.
Okay, so you're just attempting to steal the book as all of this is going on. Yeah, I think you have an opportunity because, Peregrine is busy trying to figure out what the fuck. Okay, I'll frame it like this. Prowl risky standard to just get to where the book is and potentially have it but not get away for it. Or if you somehow get great effect, then you can just steal it.
All right.
So it's up to you how you want to frame this. If you want to frame it as one action to get there and set yourself up to do something else, or if you want to go push for great effect or something. But I think by default, just by weaving through the crowd, you can easily get to Peregrine's table undetected. So that's your risky standard.
Yeah, I think it might be more of a finesse because it's more misdirection than trying to be unseen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very much like a social stealth kind of thing, right? So I'm gonna try to try to get there first. Did you say risky standard?
Yeah, I did.
We're just gonna. This doesn't have to be complicated. I'm just gonna see the roll as it is.
It's a crit.
Double sixes.
So what will happen is that you get there and you somehow misdirect Vole. Peregrine is paying attention to what is going on. Vole is the person who has his attention to the book because he was supposed to keep this for his master who is just caught on fire, right? And so I think Vole is reaching for the book and about to pick it up, and then you have an opportunity to completely throw off his trail. How do you do it?
Wait. I am basically distracting him from picking it up, right?
Yeah. You have your crit bonus here is basically you can completely misdirect Vole as well, and just get a clear line for the book. So how do you do that?
Blending into the crowd. I think I put on my most theater security voice. And I do say something like, "He's going insane! Find his driver!"
Yeah. And Vole turns and just spontaneously melts back into the crowd because he's an experienced scoundrel. And you have this book bound in blue leather before you. And I guess you can just swipe it if you want.
I'm gonna swipe it.
Yeah, you pick it up. It's heavy. It's large. Yeah. It's heavy, it's large. I think it's like a 2-load book just because it's big.
Wow.
But you have it.
All right.
Mhm.
I guess that puts me to normal load now.
Yeah, it
Basically.
does.
So
Which makes sort of sense because you're not that
Yeah.
inconspicuous carrying a giant occult book. You
Yes.
notice a thing as you put your fingers to it, by the way. The leather doesn't appear to be dyed, it just appears to be blue. As if it's made from the hide of a blue creature.
Oh.
Ooh.
Also, you won't be normal load, Emma, because we have the rigging, so your weapon wouldn't count.
Oh. Cool.
Good. So then I guess you can hide this conveniently.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very big coat that I spiked.
Uh-huh.
You're a Deathland scavenger type. You know how to pack.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very effectively.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I know what I want to say to this man as he approaches me. I will say merely in some mysterious voice, as expected of an occult teacher. I will say, find me where the ruby drowns. There we will speak more. And I'm really hoping that, like, by doing this, he maybe gets a hint or just does not, like, make this happen here. Because we need to get away. Because with any luck, I don't know if I've noticed that Moss has done this, but I sure hope so. And we can't really stick around anymore.
Yeah. Find me where the ruby what?
Drowns.
Find me where the ruby drowns, because it's the ruby jetty. I want to find him with Shadia, basically.
Yeah. Okay. I think you need to make an action roll to persuade him because, like, even though you've grounded him in the moment, he is still crazy. He's just focused crazy. So
that makes sense.
But I think it's no longer desperate. It's risky. It's a risky standard to talk to this guy now.
Can I have a devil's bargain here? Because I feel like, again, with shortness of breath, talking is exactly what I shouldn't be doing.
Yes. I think your wound penalty applies. So I can give you a devil's bargain, and I think the straightforward devil's bargain that I can think of, which you probably don't want, but it makes sense, is that someone in the crowd hears you, and this is not said in some occult tongue. You just kind of have to say this in a language that you know he can understand and that people around you can understand, and it will get out. So you may be spied on, which is still better than having this conversation openly here, but
I think what I'm going to do is, I figure we may be being spied on. However, Aadiyat travels around with a bodyguard. So does, what's this man's name that I've forgotten?
Salman?
Salman, yeah. So maybe I can try and counteract that somehow at that time. But for now, I may have the choice.
Yeah, people here have eyes and ears. This is a very high-profile venue full of spies, as we have established. So,
correct. We've also established that I'm not very good at tradecraft. So,
Speaking of Salman's bodyguard, where is that guy?
He is standing by, being extremely stunned and confused by what went on here. I think, when his master rushed the stage and got wrestled down, he didn't interfere because it's obvious that his master was in the wrong, right? Like, even if you're a nobleman and you just rush on stage, he can't just draw his sword and start killing the stagehands for laying hands on him. It would cause too much of a scandal. And then his master caught fire and transformed into a demon. And I think actually what happened is that this guy has something religious in his eyes, and he's making some sort of gesture of divine protection. And whatever it is, he has worked for House Ankayat, and he is aware that he is beholding demon magic, and he believes in that sort of thing, So he thinks he has just witnessed a real-life live miracle.
Well, he has.
He has,
Yeah.
Thanks, Ada.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
So, risky standard sway. Bonus dice cancels out the penalty, so it's 0.
Yep.
God, if I roll a fail now, it's just gonna be.
Oh wow!
You do. You fail, and he says, "The place is irrelevant. These people are irrelevant. They are mere distractions. You do not want them here. You want privacy. Is that so?"
Yes.
Good, he says, and he will just set everything in around you on fire in a circle. So he just makes a gesture, and flames burst from the floor, and your table has Ifede at it. So unfortunately, this other occultist will also be here, but he just spontaneously sets the rest of the theater on fire.
Seems like a desperate consequence and not a risky consequence, is all I'll say.
The reason it's not a desperate consequence is if this had been desperate, he would have just killed the people who might listen in. Now he's just scaring them away.
I see. Okay, it's risky for him, not for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know when Mushfiq can come back into the action.
Yeah. I think now is a good time for Mushfiq to come into the action because this burning naked sorcerer has just thrown a ring of fire around Saida and Ifede.
Okay, so
I
I
forgot he
have
was still naked, actually.
I have a fairly insane idea. So you'll remember that one of my items is Ancestor Banana Split Sundae,
Yes.
which we said is effective against the supernatural.
Yes.
Oh my fucking god.
So,
because it's ancestral. Yeah.
that's because it's ancestral. So Mushfiq, he gets up, he sees this, and he says, wait a minute, guys, I know what's gonna cool him down. He ducks behind the stage, I guess into the kitchen of this theater, comes back with one of his bananas and some ice cream.
While you go...
So your plan is to attack this guy with ancestral desserts.
Yes, and I'm gonna cool this guy down, but with the frozen dessert. Yeah.
Okay.
Before you make the roll, because I see you disappear for about 5 minutes as you go to the staff kitchen or whatever. I'm going to try to escort as many people, including the sexy lady, of course. But there are other sexy people here as well, out of this theater.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Vidruhi, I don't think there's a role here. You're just trying to escort people out as the burning sorcerer just casually burns the place down.
Yeah. There might be a role afterwards, but we shall see.
I'm happy to have a conversation with this guy while the Sunday is being prepared. Trusting in my team. That's what I gotta learn to do, right?
Okay, so it will take Mushfiq some time to show up with his magical ice cream. And meanwhile, Moss, your last action was a crit, so I think besides just swiping the book, right, you can actually see Peregrine, who is moving about the crowd and hasn't recognized you in your cunning disguise. And he is swearing under his breath. He's muttering, and he says, I think he is actually approaching the bodyguard who is making this gesture. And you hear him very clearly say, alert the boy's family. Get House Ankayat here. Get him here now. And the bodyguard is going to rush off to do just that. He is the bodyguard of one of the nobility. He has the authority to call the rest of the nobility here. And House Ankayat have probably already noticed what's going on because they keep track of the supernatural. So, you can do something about this, or you can just let this man run outside and fetch not just the police, but the government to interfere here.
Do we want the government to show up at our occult ritual that went maybe a slight bit wrong? I think I want to delay their appearance until after we are well away.
Yeah. So, Peregrine is staying on site just to pay attention to what's going on. So he is sending this heavily armed and dangerous man to do his messaging for him. How do you plan to stop that?
I am going to man.
Oh, in fact, I think I have an idea for how we can. Only.
Oh, good.
But it only works if you and I kind of run into each other as I'm escorting the people out.
Sure, do tell.
Okay, Sister Moss. Okay. There's a fucking fire. Why's that? Okay, fire hydrant over here. Okay, so there's a faction called the Water Bearers in the city, and they do have cisterns, fire hydrants, all that kind of thing. So I think what Bidre wants to do is kind of knock one of them open and just kind of start dousing the theater in water. And if you and I can get involved in this, then a huge, strong jet of water seems like a perfect thing to stop a bodyguard dead in his tracks.
Uh-huh.
Sounds perfect.
Okay. So you have a group action to wreck and unleash a torrent of water? Is that it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have no points in wreck.
Yeah, but it sounds like it is
Neither
wreck.
do I.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be just trying to locate the hydrant.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's
You
true,
can
yeah.
frame it some other way.
Survey?
Survey.
Survey? Okay. So how I'm going to frame it is wreck seems like the straightforward way to solve this problem. So survey will work. It'll be controlled limited, I think, because it's more subtle.
Mhm.
But it just makes sense that it starts like it's not very risky to attempt to put out the fire in this situation. But it also is limited in the sense that it'll take you a little while to do this. So like you can distract him, but you can't just bowl him over with a jet of water from just carefully opening the taps, right?
That's okay. We're gonna find the fire hydrant together, and then I will push for effect. And I think by pushing for effect will be trying to get his attention so he's exactly in the right place.
Okay. Fair enough. Controlled standard it is.
And because I have even the odds, we can always have a convenient environmental feature. Of course, like the hydrant isn't the convenient environmental feature because there's many of them all over the place, especially ash cloister. But what is a convenient environmental feature, I think, is that just next to where this guy will be running past, there could well be some sort of like a. I'm thinking some sort of like a pulley and bucket system to kind of like, I think because theaters can catch fire, like I think so they probably have some sort of like system that's built in that actually lets them like incorporate the water from the hydrant really quickly and like toss buckets of water in there as well. So that's what I would like to invoke exists here.
Okay, sure. Absolutely. So there will be more stuff for him to trip on and so on and get knocked over by water. Yeah.
Yes.
Good. All right. Controlled standard. And I guess now the standard effect is not just slowing him down, but actually like knocking him on his ass because of these features you've added.
Yes. Excellent.
Okay. Group action.
Group action.
Find the fire hydrant.
Could I have a devil's bargain?
Oh man.
You absolutely can have a devil's bargain.
Good
And the
thing
devil's
too, because I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Yes. And the devil's bargain in this case is straightforward. You are a connoisseur of nice things, and this is a very cool looking bodyguard. So you really, really want his sword. It's a really nice sword. It's bejeweled, it's inlaid, and if you don't have it, you're going to be very sad indeed.
Shit. I'm already feeling pretty down right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know what? I deserve
it's
a
not,
cool sword.
Yeah, to clarify, I don't think it's actually that much better than yours. It's just fancy looking. But
yeah, look, I deserve nice things. It's been a tough day. I need a treat. Papa needs a treat.
Yep.
He does. I did realize we haven't declared who's leading it, but since I already rolled, I'm happy to lead it.
Yes, I assumed you were.
Okay.
Because I am one stress away from trauma.
Exactly.
Okay, good. So that's a 4.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the pushing is like just going over to the guy, putting a hand on his shoulder and be like, or like not putting a hand on his shoulder, but like calling him over to be like, good man, there's no need to get people who are already here.
Yep. Cool. So I think the controlled circumstance, I'm going to tie it to your devil's bargain. You get the effect of knocking this man on his ass. And how he reacts to that, unfortunately, is to draw his sword and assume someone did it. So now he has his sword in his hand and is wary of any attackers. But he is slowed down.
Shit.
Yep.
Oh dear. Shall we? I mean, I would need a minute to think about what I'd do. Perhaps we could cut away.
Yes. Let's cut back to Saida, who's having a nice conversation inside the ring of fire.
Yeah.
And then Mushfik will turn up with ice cream later.
Yes. It's great. Hey, this is actually a rom-com. This is the scene where Mushfik turns up and helps this guy through his very hard breakup.
Yeah. So he looks at you and he says, I heard you sing. You call to me. You wish to teach me. very well.
Okay. So I gotta. I think I will say. Have you heard the parable? Oh my god! I just realized this entire session I've forgotten Saida's accent. I'm gonna have to deal with that in my life.
Yeah.
I think
Bring it back. I can't be the only one with this accent.
Yeah.
Saida hasn't actually spoken all that much, so that's fine. But yeah.
Hey, I'm in charge of editing this, so you know what? I could record over myself. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I will say. Have you heard the parable of the tree of death?
Yeah, I haven't, out of character, so I guess he hasn't either. So he says,
Great, because
Yeah.
I'm about to make it up.
yeah,
But it's gonna be true.
yes, exactly. So he says, tell me.
In the time before the sun fell into the ocean, there was a person whose name was the Dawn and Dusk. And they lived 1,000 years, they say. When the gates of death were broken, and dawn and dusk was no more permitted upon this earth, this ancestor knew that something must be done. Something must be changed. And so they sacrificed their own immortality, that the rest of us might experience death in the way that we were always meant to. This is the parable of the tree of death. That in order to truly die, one must first live forever. Do you understand?
Yeah, he ponders this for a moment, and then he says, time, too, is an illusion. On the stage, 40 years past. Here, but an hour. Is this true?
Yeah, and I think I will say all that matters is what you wish to do and what you are willing to give up.
I have remembered the city. I have remembered what it was before the fire. I have learned a falsehood. Now I seek the truth. If you look for truths too, perhaps there is something here to be learned. He tilts his head.
And I think,
Mhm.
yeah, and I think in fact what Saida, but like, I mean, weirdly, I guess she has been a teacher in one way or another her entire life, right?
Yeah.
And she has rejected Samum's teaching. So to some extent, what she's doing now is very much also trying to show the demon in her soul that, like, the way that you offer a lesson is in humility,
Yeah.
right? So I think she says, and what are you willing to lose to find that truth?
Yeah, there is a laugh leaving him, and he says, there is nothing for me to lose. Nothing but illusions and lies. But I will sacrifice House Ankayat. It means nothing to me.
I think I will say sacrifice means to let go of something that is of value to you. I don't really think you care about House Ankayat, do you? It's not a sacrifice if you leave aside a pair of shoes you have outgrown.
He nods, and he says, it is so. I have only just been born. I have nothing but potential. Infinite potential. And that pains me to let go, to be whittled down, to become once more formed. Here, then, is what I will give up, my namelessness.
Excellent. Then I think I will say there is one power in naming oneself. There is another in being named. Which would you choose?
Oh, you're letting him choose? Oh, interesting.
As in, like, yeah, I think the humility here is I can name him if he likes, but it needs to be something that he chooses, because then having chosen it, then we both understand what has happened, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So he says, yeah, I guess he looks at you and he says, I already know what I am become. A poet and therefore a liar. A king of liars. And that I guess is his name, the King of Liars.
Yeah, great. And I think I will say, and every king must have a loyal vizier just about to backstab them. Don't you agree?
He laughs once more, and he says, are you then the vizier of truth? Truth is the only thing that could betray me, sorceress.
And I will say, I will be the vizier that keeps you honest. And that may be truth, or it may be falsehood fashioned into truth.
Okay. I think there's one more role for you to make here, and it's to sway this guy into becoming your friend.
Fantastic. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah. And then Mushfik will show up with his ice cream after this, no matter how it goes. So you have one shot.
Yeah. Is it too early to take a second trauma?
I don't know. You're doing some pretty weird shit. So...
The reason I say this is, again, I feel like shortness of breath really has to apply here, which means that I'm down to 1 die, and I would love not to be at 1 die, right? Is there a devil's bargain here that is interesting, or is it just...
Oh yeah, there is an obvious devil's bargain, and it is to invite Ifede to the court. She is also here. She is also a sorcerer. She has already heard much.
And so I think what I will do is I will...
If you're okay with it, Emma, she is your contact. I should say that.
I'm totally okay with
So maybe then what I will say is a vizier on one hand, and on the other, a prime minister. Like, what I'm doing here is it's not just not just inviting her to the court. Arguably, like, and the way that I'm thinking of this is that I'm his personal advisor, and the prime minister does like policy and stuff. So whatever, you know.
Sure.
Great. Okay. So Sway, what kind of position?
Okay. Desperate great, I think. You have ingratiated to him yourself to him. We'll call it great effect, because I think he will become your actual friend, not just a contact. But it's desperate because you're making up some sort of occult court, and you're just doing this.
Fantastic.
Plain as day right here. So
I'm gonna do what I did a couple of sessions ago. I have 3 XP in Resolve and 3 on my playbook track. I'm gonna fill up this track to get another dot and Sway. Because I really need all the help I can get. And this is before this roll gives me another XP. Desperate. Great. No bonus dice.
No bonus dice, but no penalties either.
Man, if this is another 2, 1, and a 2, I'll just be so... It's fine. 4.
Okay,
just,
so it's a 4.
Sometimes you take what you can get. Thank you.
Yeah, you are going to want to resist this, I think, because he says, very well. Let us speak of the lies and the memories of the city Let us meet in the part of the city it has forgotten itself. Let us meet in Ypres. He says, and then he casually drops like, oh, and by the way, for your transgressions, your treason, and your betrayal, House Ankayat will seek to destroy you. And
yes, I would
if
like
you don't
to...
resist this, you will go to war with House Ankayat right away, immediately.
Yeah. So I'm gonna resist this.
Good.
And I'm gonna resist it in exactly the way that I have been carrying on so far, by pulling stuff out of my ass.
Yeah.
And what I'm gonna say is, I think you will find that House Ankayat is already at war with the House of Lies. And what I'm going to do is basically claim that House Ankayat, I'm not a new enemy, I'm just an old enemy or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Absolutely. There will be some sort of misdirection. Absolutely. Okay.
So consequences
Roll
from
your
deception
resistance
is
roll.
actually insight?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Not resolve, right? Okay, cool. That's one die,
Yep.
by the way. I love having
Good.
one die.
Yeah. Okay.
Trauma out.
So the reason that you trauma out is that he says like, then they best not find us here. Fine. And he will teleport all three of you away. Just out of the scene.
Great.
So
Excellent. Hey, that's totally fine.
But before he does that, Mushfik has time to show up. So he starts speaking some
Oh,
incantation.
I completely forgot. Yeah, please go on.
Yeah.
Mushfik shows up. So it has been a while since he's been gone, and you can see like there's very clearly some like marks of ice cream around his face. Like
You ate some? Okay.
He's clearly been gone for a long time. This was a fairly lengthy conversation.
Yeah.
So he comes back, he's got a bowl of half-eaten ice cream, and he goes, "Don't worry, Saidante, I got this." And he's gonna chuck the bowl of ice cream at this flaming demon-possessed man. And I don't know what kind of role I'm making for this.
What are you trying to accomplish? Putting out fire?
No, I think I'm trying to act against this demon, like incapacitated in some way, using the ancestral magic of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that is possible to do here. So I think that you could use this. Let's call it by default risky limited. Risky because he's not paying attention to you, and not zero effect because you have a special item basically. So what you can do is temporarily douse the fire and limit his magical powers.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, I guess. But by targeting him. Yeah.
Yep.
And what is this? What's the role for throwing a bowl of ice cream at someone?
You can easily switch this to Desperate Standard if you're willing to like get close enough to the ring of fire he surrounded himself with.
Of course.
Okay, so
In fact,
Desperate Standard.
You could get so close that maybe you also get teleported with us.
Yeah,
we could use a Minister of War, you know.
Don't listen to Tree.
No.
I shouldn't have listened to Tree last episode.
I have a very clear goal here. I want to throw a bowl of ice cream at a demon.
Yes. Excellent. Desperate Standard. And I want to point out, even though you resisted going to war with House Ankayat right away, I have bumped you down to -2 with them. Because, they're not going to be happy with whoever is behind this.
I did fuck up that shit.
Okay, so what is this? This is... What do I roll for throwing something at someone?
I think it's wreck in this instance, because you're just trying to inflict indiscriminate damage. So that would be my suggestion.
Alright, okay. Desperate... Standard. Can I get some... I only have a 1 point in wreck, so I'm gonna need some kind of...
I have a Devil's Bargain for you.
Yeah. Okay.
And it is obviously that in all of this chaos, there are still people trying to pay attention, trying to get people out, and so on. And there is still Captain Peregrine. So I think you can take the Devil's Bargain of him noticing you and realizing that, like, shit, it's these people. So far, he hasn't, because everyone's been wearing masks and stuff. But
I don't know. I guess like this will affect the whole crew. So
I have a clock for Peregrine's investigation, and I'll tick it, basically.
Okay. Are we all good with that? Because this is going to affect the whole crew.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go
Okay.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm. It's a
And
desperate roll, so yeah.
I'll push myself as well because I've got lots of stress from her now.
Okay, you can't both push for
Oh,
dice
oh,
and
right,
take
right,
those
right.
bargain, but you can push for
right.
effect, so you can go
Yeah.
desperate great. If you
Okay,
want.
I'll do that then. Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Okay,
wait, no,
Peregrines. Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to. Oh, okay, that was you clicking something.
Yeah, that was me, just updating Peregrine's progress.
Okay, so wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Desperate. Great. And I've got one bonus die. Let's see what happens.
Okay,
Ooh, okay.
so... Uh-huh. So, you roll a 1 and a 4, and your great effect here will be that you actually incapacitate the demonic Salman with your bowl of ice cream. You hurl it at him, but I mean, he's still relatively fresh at being this kind of fire sorcerer or whatever he is. So the assault of bananas and ice cream, and I want to point out it's the bananas that are ancestral, not the ice cream. So I guess the bananas weaken the magic, and then the ice cream douses the fire. Yeah, this will have the effect of actually like knocking him out of what he was about to do, which is teleport Saida and Ifede away. Saida is still traumatized out, so I think Saida thinks she is being teleported. It's a little unclear what's going on at the moment.
If
and
you
the
can
desperate...
maybe grab me and run, that would be great.
Yeah,
but I
yeah, I think Saida is probably like knocked out by the sheer attention of probably the sheer vertigo of like being about to be teleported. But you have prevented this. You have prevented the demon from kidnapping her. And the desperate consequence is just straight up, you walk straight into a ring of supernatural fire. You are not warded by ice cream in any way. So you take a level 4 harm and burn to death. This is... But you can resist this and just get horrible burns.
Sher-e-Khattam, you would very much look good with some burns that look like tiger strips.
Okay, so I'm gonna burn to death. Can I mark armor to not to bring this down? Okay, so that's
yes. If
armor.
you still have armor, that's fine.
Okay.
Try to get burnt so that it looks like tiger strips.
Okay.
If you can manage that.
Right. So you haven't used your armor yet. I thought you had. Well, cool.
So I used the tiger spirit mask, which is for that.
Right. Yeah.
But,
so you
but
haven't
I've got
used your
armor.
actual armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Mark armor and. That puts it down to a level 3, so that's just like 3rd degree burns, and then you can resist it down to level 2 if you want.
I guess I should. I don't know if there's anything else I can do to make this any better, but
I don't think so. You're getting plenty fucked up here. You are taking burns. However, you have actually incapacitated the demon sorcerer with your bowl of ice cream. So
I guess I'm resisting with prowess because the idea is just to get the hell out of there.
Yep.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, so you recover 1 stress, you roll a critical hit, you feel good about this. So you have a level 2 harm, 2nd degree burns, I guess. Let's go with...
Well, there's this very weird, like, kind of, he's clearly, his clothes are on fire and everything, but he's just completely unbothered by this. Is like,
Yeah. And so 3 things happen in order here. Bananas hit him and deactivate his magic. Ice cream hits him and douses the flames. And then the bowl hits him in the face and knocks him out, I think, with your great effect. So Salman collapses to the floor. And Saida is having some sort of trance vision at the moment. And I think Ifede, who is a little more at her wits, says like, I don't know who you are, but he was about to pull us into his realm, I think. And she tries to get pull Saida out of the fire. And Mushfik, do you help her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Sorry. So
what is Saida saying as you're being dragged away?
I think I'm just muttering under my breath, something like, a lie and a lie still make a lie. A truth and a truth still make a truth. A lie and a truth make a truth and a lie. Like, I'm just like, I'm trying to work out all of the things that I have said to make sure that the next time I speak to this man, I can back it up with some sense of internal logic.
Yes. And I think that ends the score, actually. Saeed is being pulled out of the fire. The chipped cup is burning, but I think two significant things have happened here at the end. The fire hydrant being opened prevents the regular fire, and I actually think Mushfik taking out the sorcerer prevents the supernatural fire. So I don't think the chipped cup is burning to the ground, which I thought was going to happen here for sure.
Yay.
Good.
Great.
Yeah.
Aren't we so glad that there is an ancestral banana sundae?
Yes. And I think that you can basically get out of the situation. You have... Oh, no, wait. We have one more issue to resolve, and it's Bidruhi's hunt for the sword.
Yes.
Hmm.
How about we wait a minute for Emma to return? Because
Yeah.
Emma
Sure,
needs
yeah.
help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this session is wild.
Yes.
Went places.
Yes.
Really did.
This is what happens when you decide to reawaken a man's arcane destiny so that you can be his friend.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. I was not at all sure where this whole thing was going to go because, but I hope you're pleased with how it went.
Tree, did you know where it was going to go?
I did.
Okay.
We were gonna get the book,
Uh-huh.
and I was gonna become his friend.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
I had no idea what we were doing, but I'm very pleased that we did it.
Yes. I was sure
That
that he
is
was
a-
going to go mad with the revelation, which he did. What I was not prepared for was you guys being like, no, it's fine. I'll just talk him down, make him sane, and have a conversation with him. It's...
Yeah.
That's what, in a sense, that's what almost every action we did was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took you a lot of
I
effort to
mean-
get there, I will say. It was a lot of steps to make sure this man just didn't go crazy. But
Yes.
you succeeded, so well done.
It was, it was worth it to me, I think. Also because now we have two powerful sorcerer friends. Can I add him as like a contact? Has that happened?
Yes. He became your friend,
Okay.
so that happened after, Mushfik.
Salman Ankayat. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I think he goes
So
by
is
the
he
king
like just my contact or my close friend?
He's your close friend. He is totally convinced. You're on his
Nice.
court. We will see what happens
And he's
to
now the
him,
king
though.
of liars.
Yeah, he is the king of lies.
Okay, he's the king of lies, not the king of liars, right? This is gonna
Yes.
matter.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Good. Good.
You could, you can style him as you please, I suppose. And we will see what precisely becomes of him. But he is a very powerful sorcerer. That always was his destiny, and now it's been awakened.
Yep.
And it's been awakened
Great.
totally outside of House Ankayat's control, which is why they're a little bit upset about that, because this guy was a
Well,
project.
that's too bad. And if they
Yeah.
didn't want him to awaken, they should have put him to bed at his bedtime.
Uh-huh. I think probably they had some sort of plan to awaken him at the correct time when the stars aligned, since that was his whole thing.
Mm.
But that didn't
Hey,
happen.
the stars aligned today.
Yes.
In fact, I'm almost tempted to do one downtime action or something to find out what the stars were like today, just so I can confirm what his destiny is now compared to what it was earlier.
Yep.
I think it would just be fun.
This was not cost-free, however, all of this.
Yes.
But we'll get to that in Fallout. Welcome back, Emma.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Bye.
Okay.
Welcome. So, we have the matter of Bidruhi and the sword to resolve, and Moss is in that scene. So,
Yes.
this guy has, he's been knocked on his ass, he's drawn his sword, he's warily pointing it around as he, slowly gets back on his feet, which takes him a while. So, he's still distracted, he's wet, he's bedraggled, but he is suspicious. And if it hadn't been for Bidruhi's Devil's Bargain, you guys could just bail out now. But Bidruhi has seen the sword and is filled with a deep and profound jealousy for him.
Yeah, so I'm tugging on Moss's sleeve. And I'm like, Mossapu, have you look at that guy's sword. It's like wow. Just look at the way, man.
It's a
Just the
nice little
curve.
thing to be sure.
Yeah. No, it's not a nice little thing. It's pretty big, yo.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I mean, with sword size does matter, It's like a.
That is true. That is
Yes,
true.
it's a good sword.
So,
Kind of want it. No, not kind. I like. Damn. Can you get it for me?
Is she?
I suppose we are doing this.
I was gonna be indignant on Moss's behalf, but then I realized she doesn't need me to do that. She's just gonna do this thing. Great.
It's like, it's, I mean, it is my birthday.
Uh-huh.
Is it
No,
No.
sure.
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
July 16th?
Moss has
Amazing.
missed 14 of my birthdays.
Okay.
Anyway, be right back. Let me just handle this real quick.
Good.
Yeah,
what-
I have an idea.
The reason I'm not doing this myself is that I'm monstrous away from trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna go over to this guy. I'm like, whoa, that was sorry, we trying to stop the fire. You all right, sir? And I'm gonna like kneel next to him and like reach out a hand and like pretend to help him up, and then I'm gonna rub. I'm taking my spices and I'm gonna rub like some sort of pepper sauce in his eyes.
Oh my god.
That would be like an enough distraction for me to be able to grab the sword, right?
Oh, okay. Yes, it would. Okay. The way you're framing this, I don't think it's desperate because he was ready to attack an assailant, not someone coming to help him. I
Mhm.
do think it's risky just because you're trying to grab a sword of a guy
Yes.
who would like to keep it. But I guess it's standard effect. I guess you can steal this. So let's call it risky standard.
All right. Let's see.
Like he's a pretty dangerous fighter, but you're not attempting to fight him, so that's why it's not desperate.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide whether like the whole like paprika powder incident should be a finesse or a sway, because it's both just deceiving this guy and throwing stuff in his face.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of a finesse.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So finesse, risky, standard.
Mhm.
Yeah, is there?
Is there a devil's bargain? Yes.
Yeah,
there
I
is.
was like, let's go for it as well.
Yes, there is. I think an interesting devil's bargain. Remind me, have you studied the sword school? You have not, right? You have not practiced martial arts.
I have no idea how swords work.
Yeah,
Stick
you,
'em with the
you
pointy
are
end.
not like a student of
Oh my god.
Ramu.
Okay, Arya.
Yeah. You are not a student of Ramu. Okay, cool. Then the devil's bargain I had in mind actually didn't work, but let me think of another. I think the most obvious one I can think of. This isn't super creative, but I think the most obvious one I can think of is you're letting him get a good look at you here. And
Mhm.
though you're pretty anonymous and you blend into a crowd, I think this is just like he will get a good look enough at you that he will know who took it. That's your devil's bargain. You may not want to take that because this is a pretty dangerous guy. He won't be your rival right away, but he will try to find you.
Mm-hmm. Now this sounds interesting. This sounds like character development. I'm gonna take it.
Okay, cool.
Emma, I can't believe you just said this sounds like character development.
Mhm.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
That's incredible. Please go on.
Yes. So with the bonus die, it's a 1, a 3, and a 3.
Oh, fantastic. So maybe he will find you very quickly, indeed. So I forgot what this guy name was. Hambirao, right? That was his name.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does he do?
Yeah, so this roll fails. So you reach forward and I think what we learned about this guy is he's wily, he's a bodyguard. So you help him up, you have your free hand loaded with the spice powder, probably slightly wet, so it's like a paste that you can stick in his eyes easily enough. And he sees it at the last minute and he bites your hand.
Shit.
Just one of those spontaneous things as it gets close. He is not above fighting dirty and he sees the trick coming at just the last moment. And he just snaps down on your hand. And it's like a bone-crunching pain, right? Because he bites hard. So yeah, level 2 harm to your hand. And then he kicks you away.
Wait,
And
sorry,
he realizes that you're a threat at this point, which is also very bad.
Okay, then I think this is what's going to happen. Actually, Emma, do you want to resist it first, or?
There's so
Yes.
much harm flying around this session, but it makes sense. So
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
deserve it.
You deserve that.
We do deserve it. Yeah, I'm gonna resist this.
Okay, you do that first.
Yeah, just I
probably
think
just prowess to like pull away your hand or something
exactly.
as he snaps.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think you will resist it fully in this case. And his plan was, spice powder in my mouth is a lot better than in my eyes. So
That is true.
That's where the spices are supposed to go,
yeah.
and it's Iruvia, so they can handle it. Okay, so I think I see this, and I say,
So you take one stress, and this guy flies to his feet and is well aware that someone has been trying to like attack him.
okay,
Yeah.
this is what I'm going to do. Hey, bro, why are you trying to bite my sister, bro? That's like really fucked up, okay? Okay, listen. I can see you're one of those falling star, like falling star kind of types, like cool guys. You just have those red sashes, you jump up and down, and you have the swords. Nice sword, by the way, really cool. But, bro, you can't just go around biting women. Okay?
Not unless they ask for it.
And your goal
Exactly.
is what? To distract him?
No, bro, I was telling my sister over here that this sword is really cool, and she's missed like 14 of my birthdays, so I thought it'd be like a nice birthday present. By the way, it's totally my birthday today, but now I have to beat you up because you're like trying to bite my sister, bro. That's like okay. And oh, hello, okay, Murad, pilot, there you are. Come on, this man's trying to like bite Sister Moss and so on. It's like not cool. We're going to beat him up, okay?
Oh my god.
Okay. Remind me, what are your followers' tags? Are they loyal or brave or something? Because this is an exceptionally
They
scary
are
man.
loyal to Namu. And the problem is they are loyal to
Yeah.
Namu.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? Because these guys were Ramu's rival too, I think it works. Like, Ramu also hated these snobby sword
Thank fuck
duelists.
for that.
So
Yes.
sure, I guess they will rush him with like a bar stool or something, because I mean they're not armed, but they can. They're good fighters. So yeah, I think you could do a group action to attack this man.
I wonder if I should bring out my weapons or. No, I think I've been unarmed all this time. It would make sense for me to suddenly throw out weapons, right?
Okay, so you're just going to try to beat on this guy unarmed.
Yeah, and still a sword.
And your goal is to disarm him. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, this starts out at desperate limited, and it's only limited because you have help from your crew. This is a fair fight. This is what this guy excels at.
Okay,
you can modify it there,
fine.
but desperate limited it is.
Fine, I'll mark some weapons, I guess.
Good.
Okay, let's see. Let me see what I can afford because I'm on light load and we have the rigging. Okay, that's fine. Right. I'm going to pull out they just seem to appear. So I draw my own sword. That's like not bad.
Yeah.
That's a fine, elegant weapon. I think
It was probably disguised as a prop sword. Wait, didn't you give your sword to Salman? I guess you picked it up again.
No, I marked another sword for that.
Okay, right. So you have 2 swords. Well, good.
Actually, 3 swords. Let me tell you.
Okay. So you draw your second prop sword that you had for the stage. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and it turns out not to be a prop sword.
Yeah. So my fine, elegant weapon. It's a pretty nice sword. It's quality 2 because we have like.
Yeah.
We have like quality weapons. And my other thing is a fine buckler and blade. So it's like a small buckler, a bit bigger than like my hand. And at the end, there's like a sort of like punching dagger. So that's like on the other hand. And I kind of like slam my sword against the buckler and I say, all right, bro, let's see what you got, okay?
Oh my god, man. Don't speak to a master swordsman like that. Oh.
So with good weapons, I think you can get up to desperate standard. I think it's possible for you to disarm him with the aid of your cohort.
Okay. And if it doesn't go well, we are going to get beaten the shit out of, and then we're going to be the ones in jail.
And I still
It's not just beaten the shit out of. This guy has a sword and the right to kill. He works directly for the noble houses. This is
Potentially level 4 harm is what it is.
Yeah. This is a master swordsman who is working for nobles who has every right to execute peasants if they are uppity.
Peasants!
Okay.
Oops.
But
You hear Saida like yelling from somewhere. Sorry.
Yeah.
we wish we were peasants. We aren't peasants anymore. That's the entire point.
Yes, you are not anymore, but he doesn't know that. So
Emma's trying to say something.
I was trying to say, can I still assist, or has there already been an assistance from the cohorts? But that doesn't.
no,
count,
the
right?
cohorts are group actioning, so you can absolutely assist.
Okay, so I'm
Or you
just like,
can fight as well if you want.
yeah, but like I can't fight. I don't have skirmish.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
dice in it. I don't think that's how
Moss
most would
is
approach
not
this.
a martial artist, no.
No. So I think Moss is actually just like she has attention to detail instead of martial skills. So she's just like gonna walk past you and be like, oh, by the way, his left foot is hurting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Excellent. All right, an assist die for Bidruhi.
Mhm. His left foot, his like right foot, his like right elbow, his like chain, all of it will be hurting soon.
Very good.
Let's see.
Mhm.
I wish it would.
Yeah.
That's this is how I die, I guess. I don't know. Is there devil's bargain?
Okay. Yes, I think there is a devil's bargain, and it's as I think this makes sense for Bidruhi. So I started a clock for Hambirao to find Moss. I think if you just use her name, you just go like, Moss, don't worry.
I
Then-
did use her name.
Yeah. Okay, good. You did just use your name. So then the devil's bargain is the clock will just finish, and he will just be Moss's new rival.
Okay.
If you're
Wow.
okay with that, Moss, then I
I'm
think that's a
cool
reason.
with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bro,
All right.
I
stop
don't have
stalking
any-
my sister.
Rivals.
Okay, then add Hambirao, a master swordsman, as your rival.
Bismillah,
that-
alhamdulillah.
Yes, and I think the reason that he's Moss's rival and not Bidruhi's is he can respect a fair fight. He cannot respect trickery, right?
Trickery.
So. Mhm.
I don't know, biting a man?
Okay.
I don't know.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay, so I got a 6.
Mhm.
I also
But-
just take a stress.
Yeah.
Sorry, trauma.
Yeah, and I think what is going to happen here is that your cohorts rush him as this distraction. Like this is not a fair fight from your point. You're just planning to beat him up, right? And you realize in a split second. I'm going to frame your trauma this way: you step in at the last moment with your buckler and catch it, but both of your friends, both Pilot and Murad, would have been killed in a split second as a result of your actions. And you realize this, right? It's basically just luck that they don't. You like happen to step right when he lunges right at Murad, and you see the trajectory of his blade towards Murad's throat, and you like deflect it at the last second, but you have endangered these people's lives, and you have seen in a flash how easily both of these friends of yours could have been killed.
Mhm.
But that doesn't
Sure.
actually happen because you rolled a 6. However, it is probably very traumatizing. I think they realize it too. They were like, we're going to take down this fucker, and he just basically was an inch away from murdering them.
Mhm. We will come back to this, but
Mhm.
I'm haunted now.
Yep.
And
And then, basically, as I said, by skill, but also by luck, you just happen to go in the right direction. You like bash his hand with the buckler against the table. He drops the blade. Murad hits him with a bar stool and throws him out the window.
Mhm.
It's all over very, very quickly. He's like knocked away, sent flying,
Mhm.
and his sword clatters to the floor from the table.
Okay, so now we have a cool sword on the
Yep.
ground.
Mhm.
See, I already have a cool sword, and this is also a really cool sword. It's a cooler sword, but my sword is still cool.
Yes.
However, I pick it up, and I I'm like looking at Pilot and Murad, and I'm like, "Are you okay, guys?"
Yeah, boss, I reckon so.
Is that what they sound
Okay.
like?
Okay.
That's Murad's voice now,
Okay.
apparently.
Okay, good. Very good. I'm glad that you are both still alive, Pilot. Excellent work. Very nice. Sister Moss, are you okay?
That was close, wasn't it?
Yes. This is for you. I give you the sword.
Oh my god.
Okay.
No, you should keep it.
No, you keep it, please. Please, you keep it.
Okay, I guess most you now have a bejeweled sword. It's
Okay. Oh, sure. All
I will
right.
point out
Now you also have a fine,
Yes.
elegant weapon.
you have your rival's fine, elegant weapon.
yes.
You do.
Anyway, where is
Probably-
this guy now?
It probably has his name on it.
Murad hit him with a bar stool after he was disarmed and threw him out a window because Murad is not elegant, but he's pretty strong. So
Okay.
Yes.
Because like from I'll context this a little bit. Like Moss's trauma that she got from like 40 years of her life being a lie on stage is paranoid that she will lose other people, that she will lose the people that she has
Yeah.
now also.
Yeah.
And that almost happened.
Yeah.
So if it's at all possible, she would like to just kill this guy.
Oh my god.
okay, yeah, sure. You can absolutely go outside and attempt to do that. So I guess the score continues. There is
No,
more.
no, Sister Moss. Okay, what are you doing? Okay. Okay.
Good. You are
Can I-
storming outside. Mhm.
Can
I mean,
like
it can also
intercept you?
it can also be like, okay, there's enough score and he's gone, but we'll like deal with it in downtime.
Yeah, I want to give you a shot at this though. I think it makes fictional sense. If you're trying to kill him right now, you can totally attempt it. But he's not harmless just because he's lost his sword.
And I have trauma out, so I think what's going to happen is that I'm going to, okay, Sister Moss, let's go. And I think I'm running, and I expect you to follow me.
Yeah. I was about to say. So Moss, it's you alone versus this guy if you want to pursue him.
At least you have a cool sword now.
Yeah.
And zero dice in skirmish.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a big tearing apart of two things that I want right at this moment, because at one point I want to make sure this guy can't deal with us in the future or can't harm us in the future, but at the other hand, I really don't want to lose sight of Bidrohi.
Yep. So yeah, it's an interesting character decision here. Do you go after Hambira or Bidrohi?
I think I'm gonna go after Bidrohi and deal with this guy later.
Okay, there we go. Then you withdraw with your new cool sword. Pilot and Murad withdraw with you. And I think finally the score wraps up after an insane amount of chaos.
The fuck?
And, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you accomplished all your goals. You have the blue book. You have the friendship of the awakened Salman. And I think Bidrohi managed to save the girl, kind of. Although how happily she will look upon all this depends on what you do with the book.
Look,
But I mean, you can look at it at least before you hand it over
it's
at
a
them.
great score, guys.
Uh-huh.
We got everything that we wanted. It was only 4 traumas. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally everybody traumatized, right?
Things occurred.
Yes. Give the woman the goddamn book.
Mhm.
Let's get you that book.
Yeah. So, payoff.
Is it payoff or chaos?
Payoff. Yes, let's go into payoff. So, someone please track this on the crew sheet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you earn 2 rep per default. If the target of the score, which is House Ankayat here, you get. So
Plus
they
5.
are, yeah, +5. However, think that you were not targeting House Ankayat directly, but a member of it. So we'll treat them as tier 4. I think that
Okay.
makes sense.
Sure.
So 1 less,
Okay.
because this was not like a hit at the house's holdings or estates. It was just a member of it, but a pretty powerful member. So. Yep, good. Then you earn coin. So here's what's going to happen rewards-wise. You have the friendship of Salman, and what will happen to him is unclear because he was knocked out and left behind here. And it'll take him some time, I think, to recover. He may have to like run and hide from House Ankayat and whatnot. So we will see what becomes of him, but that's one part of it. And then there is the book. And the book, if you just straight up sell it to, or, Mumtaz and her gang, if you just agree to the deal, they will give you 8 coin for this, because this is serious loot. This is a very valuable tome. And you took on most of the risk, because they can effectively now just present as like, oh no, we were just innocent performers on stage. I don't know
Some
what the hell
mad shit
happened.
happened. So
Particularly since they went, and they went nowhere near the book. So that can happen, or you can keep the book and study it, in which case it will be hugely valuable. And I think there's even a possibility of a combination here, where you hang on to the tome for a little while and try to like study it and get the sense of what it is. But if you do, they will still pay you the same, but you won't get the faction status achievement with them because they'll figure out what you're up to, right? Like, deal's a deal, we'll still buy it off you, but they won't immediately be like, oh yeah, sure, you did this to help us, thank you very much. So it's a choice between 8 coin and getting the chance to study the book, or 8 coin and getting the Blue Smoke Troop to be basically your allies.
is it +3 with them? Is that what you're saying? Damn.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's +3.
Yeah.
They already like you. And if you just go like, we'll give you the book, no questions asked, that's a pretty big sign of trust, because they know that you know this is a dangerous tome. And if you just give it to them straight away, they'll be very happy. And if you don't, there'll be loose ends, right?
I mean, if we need to study this thing and they have it and they're our friends, we can just study it, right?
Yeah, you can ask for information from it, but you won't have unrestrained access to it. You can't just read it at your leisure. And there may be things in there that they want to keep secret for themselves. But it sets you up to ask nicely for it later. It's just no guarantee that they will any such request will probably come with strings attached, right?
Yeah, well, Saida, auntie, we did this for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think like I like the +3. I think it's great. And I think given that like the last score that we did, instead of making the money, we were like, we're just gonna be nobles now. It might be a good idea to just make some money.
Yes, I agree.
All right.
We have a lot of harm and so on to recover as well.
So 8 coin and an alliance with the Blue Smoke Troop, but no insight on what the hell the book actually was. Sounds like
I think if possible, what I want to do is when we sell it, I want to be able to like pass them a message saying, we hope to be able to study. We know, like, it's that I know what a favor I'm doing for you, right? So I hope to be able to, like, fine, I may not be able to get, like, look at everything, but something.
Absolutely.
Because I know, like,
yeah, they can assist you now, but it'll be one of those, like, it's their book, and you can study specific pages under their supervision. Yada yada.
Oh, it's okay. Well, it's okay. We'll just steal it from them later. So.
Yeah.
We're very stealthy.
That's what they say about us, is that we're very stealthy. Great.
Okay, so 2 coin each?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy, coin.
Ooh, money.
Yeah. We have not yet established a ward boss. It's on the way. I'm thinking Peregrine is progressing in that direction, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, we thought about Sher-e-Khattam, but that man's a goddamn moron.
I would love to have him as my ward boss, because I bet I could con him into paying us for each score that we do.
Yes. And finally, heat. This can be nothing short of wild and devastating exposure. You summoned a demon in front of witnesses. This is 6 heat.
This man
straight
set
off the
himself
base.
on fire and then walked around like
then there's Then there was a +1 for high profile or well-connected target. Salman, he was the target. It was not on hostile turf and you were not at war. And killing was not actually involved, because in the end you avoided anyone being killed.
Yeah.
So,
and no guns were shot either. So it's actually just 6 heat. Just 6 heat.
7
Okay.
heat, because you get 1 for Salman.
And we have like the -2 heat per score.
Yeah.
So actually, so what this means is that it fills up the heat track, which means we get a wanted level, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then it goes down to 0, because any spillover is removed by your special abilities. So
yes. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
So you have a wanted level, and then we roll entanglements, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll roll the entanglement.
Thank you.
It's 2.
So
but
that
2 on
is
0 hit isn't that bad, is it?
No, it's not. It's gang trouble or the usual suspect, and I think it's gang trouble. It's cohorts causing trouble due to their flaws, because Pilot and Murad realized that they were pretty close to dying here.
Yep.
And like, they're loyal to you, but they get shaken by this. They get shaken pretty bad. And And so you can lose face, forfeit rep equal to your tier +1, make an example of one of the gang members or face reprisals is how it works. And I will tell you what they will do, and then you can decide, right? And what the way that they will make trouble is that they are shaken, but I think that they deal by this through bravado, trying to keep up a brave face. And so they are absolutely going to start shit-talking the Falling Star School. Just going like, we got away, we can do this.
The problem is...
So, they're scared.
That sounds cool. That sounds cool as fuck.
Yeah, maybe no one is.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you're facing reprisals from the wrong party in that case, and we'll adjust your faction status appropriately. Yeah. Okay, I think we'll handle it that way. Let's not linger on it, make it a scene.
Yeah.
Let's just have the Falling Star School be more upset with you than they already were.
So -2 instead of -1?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
So Falling Star is at -2. Was there any other faction status that was affected? House Ankayat has gone down to -2, Falling Star to -2, Blue Smoke Troop to +3. I think those were all the factions involved.
Yep.
At least directly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it is.
Yep. I think actually you will get +1 status with the Living Gods. Because Salman now walks among their ranks.
Okay. Should we...
And the Living Gods are not controlled by any of the demon houses. They are demon worshippers. So I actually think they don't mind this.
Should we make one up for Sama?
I think he is the King of Lies. I think that he is, it's one of those weird things where he kind of embodies the deity he represents. So,
But what I mean is, instead of like +1 with Living Gods, how about we just make a King of Lies faction and give +1 with that?
Sure. Sure, we can do this.
Cool. King of Lies. What faction is that?
What tier?
Yeah.
I think that he is, so if he had been able to teleport out of there, he would have been tier 2 weak. But actually, since he was knocked out and House Ankayat will have an opportunity to weaken him, he will be tier 1 strong. I think. You were kind of a little bit at cross purposes there, right?
He's still like one guy and somehow twice as strong as us. So,
Yeah. I mean, he walked around while on fire and effortlessly flamethrowered things. So yes, he is powerful.
Okay. New buddy.
Yep.
All right.
And I think he's friends with Saida, but he has +1 with the crew just through extension.
All right.
Here close the doors to the House of Endings. Those who dwell within are Zoheb, called Klow, Aadiyat, called Soap, Soumithri, called Tree, and Emma. I have been Prince, your host. Our city of Uduasha is based on Blades in the Dark by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions, with special thanks to Johnstone Metzger. Follow us on Twitter or support us on kofi.com/desperateattune. If you want to engage further with us, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/desperateattune, where you will get our newsletter, extra content, and updates from Uduasha.
Next time on Desperate Attune.
Inhaling the scent of the Poesy Promenade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I look at Moss and I say, Mossapu, how are you with poetry? Are you like a fan?
Well, it's certainly something that I appreciate from time to time, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You?
Okay. I love a good poem, but more than the good poem, I love comedy. And if we stand here long enough, very soon we will see many people trying to cross this bridge who have like no money, and they will be like, can I give you a poem instead? And then they will say a poem, and it's mostly like absolute dog shit. And this old man will get more and more pissed off because he's a real poet. So we're going to stand here and watch it. It's going to be fun.
What, they literally pay with songs in Urdu, Asha?
Yes, well, only here. I mean, it's a really cool romantic idea, but it didn't take off anywhere else. I wish it would have. It would have been like super cool, you know? Then I could get like stuff for free everywhere.